dark, call me crying in the dark.
Paradigma pendidikan kami adalah memberi peluang bagi yang ingin berusaha untuk maju dan meraih kemandirian dengan penguasaan ilmu dan teknologi secara kreatif, inovatif, dinamis, dan berakhlakul karimah. Visi kami menjadi sebuah universitas yang unggul dalam pengembangan ilmu dan teknologi dengan berlandaskan nilai-nilai Islam untuk kemaslahatan umat.
School of Medicine is the first and the embryo of Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at University Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta.
Since 2004, School of Medicine has been implemented competent-based curriculum with problem-based learning methods. Core scientific School of Medicine is family medicine. Pratama Firdaus Clinic is an educational space orienting to management of patients holistically with comprehensive approach. With this integrated learning, it is expected that all alumni of School of Medicine will become reliable health professionals in primary health care.
A wondrous civilization. Disposed to tranquility. With scenic landscapes bordered by the sea. Here, mythologies become principle. And religions create the cornerstones of life. It is contained in the arts and crafts, where celestial ceremonies become part of popular culture. Legacies of glorious traditions, where folktales are regarded as guidebooks to perfection, honed over centuries. Yet possible to experience within a few hours. Experiences you can take home. Here, art preservation is a tourist attraction. History is a living monument. Even shopping is meaningful. See world-famous resorts compete with local means of accommodation. Enjoy natural kindness. or the excitement of exploring nature. With endless stories to tell and never-ending feasts. Never-ending possibilities to get more out of life and journeys. Yogyakarta. Wonderful.
لك نص الكعبة ما أدري 89 والله.
Hi, I'm working on it. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed to the opening ceremony in 5 minutes. please turn on your camera and mute your audio. And for all participants, please fill in your attendance by clicking the link down below.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon us. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. All praise to Allah as the Lord of the world, the Master and Creator of everything in this universe. His mercy and blessings for enabling us to meet and gather in this event without any troubles and obstacles.
May peace and salutations will always be given to Prophet of Islam, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who guided us from the darkness to the light of Islam.
The Honorable Vice Dean of Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Dr. Kusbarianto, Master of Health, Fellow of Indonesian Society of Public Health, Fellow of Indonesian Society of Community Medicine.
The Honorable Dr. Joko Agung Priambodo, Spesialis Penyakit Dalam, as the DICE lecturer.
Excellency, President of Center for Indonesian Medical Students Activities, Shogi Ahmed Azizi.
And the participants of 16th International Tropical Medicine Summer School and the organizing committees that has been preparing this event for almost a year.
We are delighted to welcome you to the 16th ITMSS by the theme Preventive Action and Therapy Update in Tropical Medicine.
And this year, we're bringing leptospirosis, dengue hemorrhagic fever, and neglected tropical diseases as our main topics. This summer school will be held virtually from 22nd to 26th of August 2021 with educational programs.
The educational programs are lecture by experts, tutorial, and multiple choice questions.
My name is Bima.
And I'm Bella. And
we are your Master of Ceremony this morning. Before we continue, let us read the ground rules for this 16th ITMSS. 1. Participants are required to use their real names. Participants are obliged to change the name format to full name _ country.
2. Participants must join the WhatsApp group link that has been given.
3. Participants are recommended to use a laptop instead of a smartphone.
4. Participants are required to be on time.
5. Participants should fill in the attendance form on each of the agendas. The attendance form can be accessed for only 15 minutes. Those participants who are late to fill in the form, you can contact on contact person's number provided.
6. Participants must fill out all attendance and evaluation forms as a final requirement to get an e-certificate. Minimum presence on educational program 100% and on non-educational program 80%.
7. Participants are expected to wear proper clothing that shall cover your upper body.
8. Participants are requested to turn on their camera and mute the microphone.
9. When there's a question to ask, participants are allowed to use the raise hand feature and turn on the microphone after being allowed by the moderator.
10. Participants are allowed to turn on the microphone during the discussion session.
11. Participants are not allowed to eat during the lecture and discussion session.
12. Participants are expected to keep focus on the agenda.
To start our opening ceremony, allow me to read today's agenda. The first agenda is opening,
Singing Indonesia Raya and Mars Muhammadiyah Sang Surya,
welcoming speeches,
opening video from Sentaka Mudia UNY,
ITMSS introduction,
lecture by expert,
break,
tutorial,
and closing. And without any further ado, let's get on to the next agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now sing Indonesia Raya and Mars Muhammadiyah Sang Surya. You may all please rise. You may now sit down.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite the project manager of 16 ITMSS to deliver his remark. Please welcome Muhammad Haikal Zulfikar.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Muhammad Haikal Zulfikar as project manager of 16 ITMSS. First and foremost, I would like to offer my thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. He who has given us His mercy and blessing to have the opportunity to gather here today. Second of all, may salawat and salam always be with our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who had guided us to the righteous way of life. Furthermore, as your project manager, I am very much excited to welcome you all to the 16th International Tropical Medicine Summer School 2021. With the COVID-19 pandemic is still looming over us, we are encouraged to do as many activities from home as possible. Therefore, this year ITMSS is conducted online to help limiting both the spread of the virus in between those involved and ultimately the number of infections in the country. Nevertheless, I aspire all of us to recapture the essence of what will be our 16th annual ITMSS. To conclude, I would like to send my sincere gratitude for every one of us who has committed and contributed toward the accomplishing of this event in any way at all. Once again, I genuinely hope for each of us that together we can have special time and really have a blast. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Haikal. The next speech will be delivered by the President of Muhammadiyah Medical Students Activity. Please welcome Sophia Rahmawati.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon you. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Kritik. Selamat datang dan sugeng rawuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. The Excellencies, the Dean of Faculty of Medicine and Health Science, represented by Dr. Kusbarianto, Master of Public Health, Fellow of Indonesian Society of Public Health, Fellow of Indonesian Society of Community Medicine, Dr. Imania Ranti as the Advisor of MMSA, Dr. Joko Agung Internist, Dr. Nurrahmi Ananda Internist, and Dr. Andian Setya Pediatric Master of Science as the Lecturer of ITMSS. Governor of BEM FKIK, Chairman of HMPD SMAKU, TBM, and MARS. President of CIMSA Indonesia, Regional Coordinator of CIMSA Region 5, Local Coordinator of CIMSA UGM, CIMSA UKDW, Observer of CIMSA FKULM, and all of MMSA members. And lastly, all distinguished guys. First, let us praise the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, we are able to conduct online to this event full of festivities and with a strong sense of community. Secondly, may peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad, who is loved by Allah and has taught us to choose the best way of life. Before I continue, I would like to thank the MC for giving me a chance to speak here today. My name is Sophie, and I speak here today as a president of MMSA UMY 2021-2022. MMSA, or Muhammadiyah Medical Student Activities, is an organization that exists to accommodate medical students in the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. For achieving their optimum potential, MMSA is a non-profit and non-government organization that is independent, nationalist, non-political, and non-partisan with activity-based program. MMSA consists of 6 standing committees related to health issues, namely sexual and reproductive health and rights, including HIV and AIDS, public health, medical education, human rights and peace, research exchange, and professional exchange, with the tagline of empowering medical students, improving national health. We are determined to improve people's health around the world. We are proof this by the various activities that we organize. Think globally, act locally. Now, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 16th International Tropical Medicine Summer School 2021. This year's ITMSS is the first that we are holding online and with the comprehending the essence of ITMSS. We provide many activities that are divided into 4 days. There are lecture, tutorial, cultural session, exam, and farewell parties. Our goals for ITMSS is to increase medical student knowledge about tropical disease, build more awareness on the importance of tropical disease, and bring more recognition on the importance of handling and prevention tropical disease properly. Hopefully, at the end of this event, we can slowly but surely achieve these goals. That is all I can say for today, and I do apologize for my cutting remarks. Thank you for your attention. Please do enjoy your time in ITMSS. In my Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala bless you. Be active with MMSA. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us all. Om Santi 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya, critic of virtue.
Thank you, Sophie. Please welcome the next speaker, the President of Center for Indonesian Medical Students Activities, Syaugi Ahmed Azizi.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say thanks to Allah, the Almighty God, for always give us some mercies and blessings so that we could attend this event without any trouble. Salat and salam for our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who has guided us from darkness and lightness in the world. Greeting to all of us, to the Honorable Dean, Dr. Kusbarianto MKes, or his representative, and also for the Vice and other faculty staff, the Honorable Local Coordinator of MMSAOMA, Sophie Rahmawati, the Honorable Student President, the Honorable Regional Coordinator of Region 5, CIMS Indonesia, and also for the officials and organizing committee of ITMSS 2021. On behalf of CIMS Indonesia, I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here today at this special, wonderful occasion, especially to the delegates of ITMSS from all over the country that I couldn't mention one by one, and also for MMSAOMA, who already worked hard for this event. And ITMSS is summer school that held by one of our CIMSA locals, that is MMSAOMA annually, and focusing to address tropical medicine issues, including the disease that are the characteristic of the equator line country. And it is also with Indonesia, and it held internationally to bring up the issues on global scale, so it can be very impactful for all of us. We do hope that all delegates will have memorable experience, also can increase the knowledge and skills. And lastly, I do hope all of you can enjoy this ITMSS and get benefit from this. Well, that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Shogi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my dear pleasure to introduce Vice Dean of Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Dr. Kusbarianto, Master of Health.
Oh, I'm sorry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and welcome to Indonesia. Even though this event is being held virtually, tropical medicine studies virus disease that exist in the tropics and are rarely found in various subtropical countries and in countries with position. Myself, I used to study my master degree in tropical medicine. This year, summer school is entering its 16 years. Alhamdulillah, dan online, hopefully, event can add to your knowledge. Let's always pray so that this COVID pandemic will end soon, so that you can come to Indonesia directly. You will be able to see firsthand the Borobudur Temple, Prambanan Temple, Yogyakarta Palace, and various other interesting tourist objects. I hope this summer school runs smoothly. I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Kusparyanto, Master of Health. The next agenda is welcoming speech from student representative that will be delivered by Alisa from Indonesia and Yasmin from Jordan.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm Alisa Cindy Jadinintias from Indonesia. As a third semester in medical student, there are not many diseases that I know specifically that often occur in Indonesia, which incidental I'm sorry. Moreover, I personally don't know in detail about the treatment and handling for some disease. For that, I think that by participating in ITMSS 2021, I can gain new knowledge, which of course I have never gotten before. After I take part in ITMSS 2021, I want to be able to apply the knowledge that I got at the ITMSS event itself, for example, how to prevent, treat, and provide information about diseases that commonly occur in tropical environments, which I will also share this knowledge with many people. I think it's enough from me, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe in these tough circumstances. My name is Yasmin Juma, a sixth-year medical student at Hashmat University in Jordan. First of all, let me thank all the people who are in charge of this work and say that you did a hard job. Well done and thank you. Actually, tropical disease is an important subject that needs to be highlighted locally and globally and increased knowledge about, as infectious diseases need a fast intervention wherever it is. As a foreign participant, I'd like to say that me and other participants are excited about this experience, and hopefully together we will make it a memorable, rich project and help in making a change and transmit the subject to different levels. In addition to that, we're really excited to learn about Indonesian culture too. Good luck for you all and thank you.
Thank you, Alisa and Yasmin. The next agenda is a dance video playback of Tari Anom Adimukti or Anom Adimukti dance by Sentaka Mudia Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta.
Nolat dolaku utama Wong aku ngeksi kondo panembahan senopati kapati Amarasudi sudaning hawalan nafsu binapsu tapa brata tan api ing siang ratri amemangun karyena tias ing suara suleng kumandang suarane delatulit kapena urine ninemo renyohake bareng lan kentrong dipung suleng singrak undangane
Anom Adimukti dance has the meaning of young and vibrant, and this dance describes the joy of the community groups in celebrating the People's Party after being enthusiastic about working hard to carry our activities. Thank you.
The next agenda is the ITMSS introduction will be delivered by the Vice Project Manager of 16 ITMSS, Nisa Fadila. The time is yours.
Thank you for the master of ceremony. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. In the beginning of the session, I'm going to explain. First, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Nisa. I'm Vice Project Manager of 16 ITMSS that will be explaining you about the introduction of ITMSS. Next.
Ada mukil anjing.
Mukil.
Biasanya piu.
Piu.
Mukil. Ini anjing, Sur.
Anjing. Tapi kau kat server orang tak invite maning.
Oke, sibuk apa ngurus?
Please everyone to mute themselves. Okay. Next. Hello. Okay, next. Okay, the second one. And the third one, we have the area, same as day 1 and day 2. It will be lecture and tutorial session. After that, we have exam simulation to prepare the exam in the 4th day. Next. The last day, we have Next. Okay, the next one is International Tropical Summer School. That will be the curriculum. It will be first educational program, and the second one is non-educational program. Next. For the educational program, it will be lecture, tutorial, and examination. And for the non-educational program, it will be cultural session, welcoming ceremony, and farewell ceremony. Next. For the lecturer, we have 3 materials. It will be leptospirosis, tuberculosis, and diarrhea. Next. For the tutorial, you will be divided into 4 groups for all of you that already qualified for attending the tutorial. Next. For the examination, we have 15 questions for 15 minutes, and you will use 2 devices. The first device is for the examination, and the second device, it will be for the cameras. Next. For the final score, we have 60% from multiple choice question or the final exam, and 40% for the tutorial. Next. For culturalization, there is a Javanese traditional dance that will be led by Devi Nur Savitri. You all will be divided into 3 groups. Per group will be remix 27 for 1 minute duration of traditional dance. Next. For the first group, all of you will be remake the first 20 seconds from 1 minute video, and the second group will be remake the second 20 seconds from 1 minute videos, and the third will be remake the 20 seconds third from 1 minute video. Next. Learning platform that will be used is that My Class and Zoom. Next. The next one is love letter. Love letter, you can online typing or handwritten and attach it in photo. You can send it to all of the person. You can send it to the committee or to the another participants, and you can send it by anonym. Next. This is a group for the tutorial. You will be divided into 4 groups. That is the first and the second group. Next. This is the third and the fourth group. Next. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fadila, for explanations about the International Tropical Medicine Summer School. And ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a break for 15 minutes. We will very appreciate if participants don't leave the room, as it will make us easier to go on the next agenda. Thank you.
Paradigma pendidikan kami adalah memberi peluang bagi yang ingin berusaha untuk maju dan meraih kemandirian dengan penguasaan ilmu dan teknologi secara kreatif, inovatif, dinamis, dan berakhlakul karimah. Visi kami menjadi sebuah universitas yang unggul dalam pengembangan ilmu dan teknologi dengan berlandaskan nilai-nilai Islam untuk kemaslahatan umat.
School of Medicine is the first and the embryo of Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at University Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta.
Since 2004, School of Medicine has been implemented competent-based curriculum with problem-based learning methods. Core scientific School of Medicine is family medicine. Pratama Firdaus Clinic is an educational space orienting to management of patients holistically with comprehensive approach. With this integrated learning, it that all alumni of School of Medicine will become reliable health professionals in primary health care.
A wondrous civilization. Disposed to tranquility. With scenic landscapes bordered by the sea. Here, mythologies become principle. And religions create the cornerstones of life. It is contained in the arts and crafts, where celestial ceremonies become part of popular culture. Legacies of glorious traditions, where folktales are regarded as guidebooks to perfection, honed over centuries. Yet possible to experience within a few hours. Experiences you can take home. Here, art preservation is a tourist attraction. History is a living monument. Even shopping is meaningful. See world-famous resorts compete with local means of accommodation. Enjoy natural kindness. Or the excitement of exploring nature. With endless stories to tell. And never-ending feasts. Never-ending possibilities. To get more out of life and journeys. Yogyakarta. Wonderful.
Paradigma pendidikan kami adalah memberi peluang bagi yang ingin berusaha untuk maju dan meraih kemandirian dengan penguasaan ilmu dan teknologi secara kreatif, inovatif, dinamis, dan berakhlakul karimah. Visi kami menjadi sebuah universitas yang unggul dalam pengembangan ilmu dan teknologi dengan berlandaskan nilai-nilai Islam untuk kemaslahatan umat.
School of Medicine is the first and the embryo of Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at University Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta.
Since 2004, School of Medicine has been implemented competent-based curriculum with problem-based learning methods. Core scientific School of Medicine is family medicine. Pratama Firdaus Clinic is an educational space orienting to management of patients holistically with comprehensive approach. With this integrated learning, it is expected that all alumni of School of Medicine will become reliable health professionals in primary health care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed to the next agenda in 5 minutes, and we remind you to turn on your camera and mute your audio. And before we move to the next agenda, for all participants, Please fill in your attendance by clicking the link down below.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me, caught you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eye. I don't know why I run away. I'll make you cry when I run away. You could have asked me why I broke your heart. You could have told me that you fell apart. But you walked past me like I wasn't there. make you cry when I run away. Save your tears for another day. Ooh, girl, I said save your tears for another day. I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then. I've been running from it, tired of running from it, scared of feeling something now, stuck and trying to get up out of this hole. I tried to be strong, I tried to make it work, but I've been feeling too numb. Skies are bleeding on me, why'd you leave me lonely? Feeling witness stony now, stuck and wonder where I ever went wrong. How could I be strong? I'm fighting for your love. I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then. I don't see light in your love anymore. There ain't no reason to go on the floor. I don't like feelings and feeling like running for something and feeling so out of control. I know that the feelings are gone. I'm spending so much time alone. I'm hoping you pick up the phone and ring me when you wanna stay overnight. My shoulders right, my baby is all that I want, and I play them all of my favorite songs. That lady is my favorite one. I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll
Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is leptospirosis lecture that will be explained by an internist, Dr. Joko Agung Priambodo, Spesialis Penyakit Dalam, and will be moderated by Dr. Fahad. And before we start today's lecture, allow me to introduce today's lecture. Dr. Fahad was born at 21st October 1994 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and graduated as a doctor from Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta in 2020. Dr. Fahad was an active student who involved in several organizational experiences, such as division member of Medical Assistant Team Training Alert, Language Club of Medical Education Students Association, and Research Exchange Committee in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta on 2014 to 2016. National Seminar Public Relations Coordinator in 2016, initiator and internal deputy chair of Volunteer Doctors Yogyakarta in 2016 to 2017, chairman of Volunteer Doctor Yogyakarta in 2019 and 2020. And he was also a medical student exchange to Poland in 2016, lessons officer of several foreign guest professor in Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta in 2015 to 2016, and volunteer flute disaster in Gunung Kidul, Yogyakarta in 2017. And without any further ado, please welcome Dr. Fahad as our moderator.
Okay. Well, hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. I would like to thank to the host of the event, Bima and Bella, giving me a chance, giving me to authority to guide the main agenda this morning. Okay. Welcome to the 16th International Tropical Medicine Summer School. The participants are around the world, from Indonesia itself, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Tanzania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, and of course the Arabian, Iraq, Libya, Urdun. Welcome from Arabian because I'm from Saudi Arabia, so I'm so excited there is an Arabian participant. So hi, my name is Fahad, and that's it. That's my only one word's name. I'm glad that I didn't have any difficulty to write down my names because it's so simple and quite fast. But actually, I have some problems because of that one words. For example, my passport. You know, the name section of passport, contains must 2 words, right? I only have 1 word, so I have to figure out, and I tried to take my father's name, so that's it. Okay, by the way, I'm sorry. In the beginning of these sessions, I would like to greet to all the participants here. I'm sorry, I want to hear your voice, okay? I want to hear your voice, all the participants here. I just want to know that you are very interested in this program and waiting for this program for a long time ago, okay? So I will say hi, good morning, everybody, and then you have to open your mic and then you have to reply me. You can say hi, you can say hello, you can say hi in your languages, whatever, okay? Do you have a deal? I hope you understand. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm talking about, okay? So I'll count 3, 3, 2, 1, and then I say, hi, good morning, everybody. And then you have to open your mic and then reply me, okay? 3, 2, 1. Hi, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Oh,
Hi, good morning, everybody.
applause to us. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, first day we have a lecture from our lovely Dr. Joko Agung Priambodo. Please, the IT, the CV, you have it? Okay. Okay, in this day we have a lecture from our lovely Dr. Joko Agung Priambodo. He is an internist. He was born in Semarang. Do you have any ideas where Semarang is? Not from Indonesian, okay? Semarang is the capital of Central of Java, okay? October 10th, 1971. His education started in 1999. He graduated as a medical student from Diponegoro University. And I was 5, I think, in that year. In 2008, graduated as internist from 11 Maret University. From 2010 until 2017, he already completed several training, such as basic, intermediate, and advanced ultrasound course, echocardiography course, and gastrointestinal endoscopy training, and also hemodialysis training. In 2018, he did already graduated as a subspecialist of medical oncology, hematology from Diponegoro University. And right now, he currently works in Temanggung Hospital as an internist. Today, he will deliver a lecture about leptospirosis. So please, all the participants, be prepared because right now, Dr. Joko will present their presentations. Dr. Joko, time is yours.
Dr. Warhat, can my voice be heard clearly?
Yes, Doc.
I'm sorry, your voice clearly.
Yes. I think before it, first of all, I need thank you for all audience and especially for the committee organizing that invited me as the represent Dr. Temanggung Hospital to present my topic at this moment is leptospirosis. Temanggung Hospital is once place where medical student Muhammadiyah University that finished theory and practice as medical student. I happy can participate this forum and wish you all can enjoy hear me. As introduction, among all diseases, infectious and parasitic disease remain the biggest killer in the account for 1/4 in the global burden of disease. The African, Southeast Asian, and Eastern Mediterranean regions, as defined World Health Organization, are most heavily burdened by this period. As we know, HIV or AIDS is still less higher between the other infectious disease and follow the diarrhea disease, trachoma, and leishmaniasis, dengue, and once the infectious disease is ascariasis. This is ascariasis that I find when I doing the endoscopy in RSUD Temanggung. Ascariasis hookworm is still the problem is country, developing country, especially Indonesia. And we return back to about the leptospirosis. Leptospirosis is zoonotic disease with worldwide distribution is increasing prevalence. This infection is caused by the spirochetes leptospira, with common exposure being contaminated fresh water. The recent estimated worldwide incident leptospirosis is approximately 1 million, with the 5x thousand associated the mortality. This incident in tropical areas is up to 10 times higher, likely due to combination of factor including environment, higher temperature, for example, higher temperature, humidity, and rainfall, favoring organism survival, as well as socioeconomic, as the poor sanitation, closer human contact with both rodent and domestic animal. The syndrome is heavy leptospirosis is continuous from the early leptospirosis. Leptospirosis divided into phases. That is phases enteric and phases ecteric phases. Epidemiology leptospirosis is still in the developing country, especially in Equator country, the Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, India, and this is the picture of microscopic the leptospirosis form spiral. Maybe you can the spiral form. The long is 25 micrometer. There are 21 Leptospira species, and between 9 them are known to be pathogenic. As we know, the leptospirosis bacteria, there are in the kidney and through the urine, usually transmitted to human. And in human, leptospirosis can be infected and can be spread to multiple organs and causes the disorder from meningitis, uveitis, pulmonary hemorrhages, myocarditis, hepatitis, nephritis. And how pathogenesis of leptospirosis? As we know, after leptospira bacteria entire put in the skin, will be reaction of the skin from the immunity non-specific. As we know, immunity in human divided into immunity specific immunity or the immunity non-specific. In the immunity specific, for example, dermis divided into dermis and epidermis and dermis, and to attach the leptospirosis then that come. If leptospirosis can throw attach from the the immunity non-specific, leptospirosis can enter to blood flow and causes the erythrocyte hemolysis. Erythrocyte hemolysis can cause the human being the jaundice. Besides that, the leptospirosis infection can activate coagulation cascade. We know the coagulation cascade divided to the direct and indirect, and the finally can be form the clot formation. Clot formation and clot formation usually is followed the clot dissolution and degraded, and finally is causes hemorrhagic. Phase of leptospirosis divided into two phases. There is anaphylaxis phase contains first stage is fever, and second stage is fever 1 until 1 month, with the clinical manifestation is meningitis, uveitis, plus fever. And usually leptospirosis present in blood, cerebrospinal fluid, and urine. If the leptospirosis enter to phase, that is the icteric phases, divided the first stage include the aseptic chemia 3 until 7 day, and second phase start from 10 day until 30 day. With the clinical finding, same with the early phase, but there are condition is septic chemia and clinical finding is jaundice, hemorrhagic, renal failure, myocarditis, leptospira, bacteria, some the early leptospirosis, there are in blood, CSF, and urine. Cases the leptospirosis is called the phases of leptospiremic, divided into incubation period when bacteria enter a body through epidermis, mucosal, and bacteria develop in human body, usually from 2 until 10 days. After 4 days until 7 days, is called the phase septicemic. That is abrupt onset, include the fever, headaches, muscle pain, nausea, and this phase leptospira bacterial can isolate it from blood. And is followed the interphase and immune phase. What is clinical manifestation of leptospirosis? Most infections are asymptomatic, usually asymptomatic, but if there are symptoms in the human, usually range from a mild, self-limiting, non-specific febrile illness until to fulminant respiratory and renal failure with a high mortality rate. The combination of jaundice, renal failure, and hemorrhagic is known as well disease, and is most characteristic pattern associated with severe leptospirosis. Other clinical manifestation of leptospirosis in the this picture include the encephalopathy, conjunctival hemorrhagic enteritis, and the manifestation of hepatic includes jaundice, elevation of ST and ALT, and manifestasi renal damage, usually what is called acute kidney injury with the elevation of ureum and creatinine and rhabdomyolysis. The pathophysiology of jaundice in leptospirosis can be direct and indirect. Indirect, usually leptospira bacteria will attach the red blood cell, so the causes changes of metabolic hemoglobin when where the hemoglobin is divided into hem and globin, and then hem again be splitted the biliverdin, bilirubin, indirect and direct. That causes the indirect of jaundice. The jaundice also is caused by the the image of hepatic cellular, or hepatocyte will be disturbed, and destruction in the cell, hepatic cell, and or hepatic cell or hepatocyte. This can release the products of hepar, and includes also bilirubin that causes the jaundice in leptospirosis. On the clot formation in leptospirosis, when the leptospira entire in the human body, the pro-inflammatory cytokine will be attached the leptospira, and indirect can activate the tissue factor from 10 active and 5. This can activate the prothrombin into being thrombin, and thrombin can activate fibrinogen being fibrin. And finally, formation of clot, blood clot, formed from the mechanism. Besides the blood clot formation, this mechanism will be potentially to the hemorrhagic in the patient of leptospirosis. In the image in renal that caused from leptospirosis, usually when leptospira bacteria entire to renal tuberous cell, the cell on immune body can release TGF beta 1. TGF beta 1 will cause the increases production and degradation extracellular matrix, and extracellular matrix will accumulate it, and that phenomena can be what is called the renal fibrosis. And the picture, right? The picture nephritis is as this. The diagnosis, the leptospirosis can be divided into the general diagnosis and specific diagnosis. General diagnosis, usually the patient as the physical diagnosis suffer jaundice or hemorrhagic conjunctiva, and sometimes encephalopathy. And don't forget there are complication of leptospirosis is acute kidney injury. And the specific diagnosis is routine in the routine blood, usually leukocyte elevated between 2,000 and 26,000. Then shifting to the left, and can be the mild thrombocytopenia. If the thrombocytopenia about 15, that's usually correlated with the renal damage. The golden standard of leptospirosis is the microscopic examination. It's called the microscopic agglutination test, or MIT, to detect the anti-leptospira antibody. And rapid usually is used in the peripheral hospital with the method immunoglobulin M ELISA. Between 3 or 5 days when the patient suffer the leptospirosis. The treatment is if we meet the patient with the leptospirosis, we can give the doxycycline or ampicillin or amoxicillin with the symptom in a patient. When the patient suffer Well syndrome, as we know, Well syndrome is signed the jaundice or hemorrhagic in conjunctiva or encephalopathy or damage the urinary tract. We must give the penicillin or amoxicillin, and don't forget amoxicillin safe reaction or cefotaxime if the value of ureum and creatinine is good. And if the ureum creatinine not good, we cannot give the cefotaxime and display the safe reaction. I think the lecture of the leptospirosis is not too long because this disease is not too much. If now remove the dengue fever in the countries developing, especially Indonesia, usually dengue fever is have place higher compared with the leptospirosis. From me, I think enough, Dr. Fahad.
Okay.
Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Joko. What a great presentation from Dr. Joko. So right now we are in the discussion sessions. The estimate of this session would be about 20 minutes. So for all the participants, if you have any questions, write down on this, I don't know, write down on this chat boxes, and then I will read it one by one for Dr. Joko, okay? After you write down, and then I will call you. Please include your name and your country, okay? Your name and your country, and then your questions, and it will be read by me to Dr. Joko, okay? Okay, while we are waiting for the participants to write down their questions, I have a question, Dr. Joko, because we know they are trying to writing right now. So I have a question, Dr. Joko. My question is, as we know, dengue fever have like den 1, den 2, den 3, right? There's species, or there's a type of dengue fever. For leptospirosis, is there any like type or species like like then 1, then 2, or not? And then if there's a type of if there are any types of leptospirosis, which is the most dangerous type of leptospirosis? Thank you, Dr. Joko.
I think if the dangerous divided into type 1, type 2, type 3 until 4, and the leptospirosis, I think, is caused the 29 species, and important is 9 species. Until now, the species leptospirosis there are that important is species Leptospira interrogans.
Interrogans.
Yes, interrogans Leptospira. But until now, that is distinguished pattern leptospirosis is not important, because that important is how we facing the leptospira patient that is well pest. How we treat with the septicemia, shock septic, how treat the patient with the encephalopathy. That is more important compared we meet the interrogans leptospirosis. That is for me. I'm sorry.
Okay. So there is no specific species that have type 1, type 2, not type 3. No, for leptospirosis, it's all the same.
No, just the interrogans.
Yeah, it's all the same. I mean, there is no the dangerous leptospira. No, there's no type, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Joko, for your answer. So for all the participants, I still waiting for your questions in the chat boxes. I will read it after this to Dr. Joko. So please write down your questions in the chat box or in the question box, whatever you say. Okay, I'm waiting. And maybe for while we are waiting, maybe I have 2 questions, Doctor. Because waiting is like a boring thing, I think. Doctor, can I ask you one more question? Boleh saya tanya lagi, Dok? 1?
Yes, please.
Okay. Daripada diem gini, Dok, nungguin yang nanya.
Yes.
Okay, how to... Oh yeah, write down Bima. Bima, don't raise your hand. Write down your questions in chat. Okay, if you have any questions. My question is how to differentiate between the clinical finding of leptospirosis and
disease.
Typhoid fever.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I think the kind pattern of the febrile typhoid is different with the leptospirosis. Typhoid febrile is usually from 7 until 40. Febrile fever.
So for the leptospirosis, it's more like high or less?
Usually, leptospirosis fever we find from 2 2 until 7 days as the dengue fever. And it's if we find the fever, we must clinically, before the examination of laboratory, the fever of typhoid, febrile of typhoid fever, usually we meet the tongue that dirty, tongue typhoid tongue. And yes, and the typhoid usually can patient suffer the splenomegaly and hepatomegaly and disorientation awareness, which, and don't forget in the typhoid fever, if we find the examination of laboratorium, we find immunoglobulin typhoid always positive, and that's not met in the leptospira patient.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Joko.
Yes.
Okay, this is the first question from Iliana Freya from Indonesia. Good afternoon. I would like to ask, how does one differentiate between leptospirosis and dengue fever, maybe in a clinical setting, as I noticed the clinical symptoms are very similar. So the question, how to differentiate leptospirosis between dengue fever, doctor, for clinical finding?
Yes.
For Eliana Freya,
Yes.
Indonesia.
Same fever between from 2 days until 7 days. Yeah, between leptospirosis and dengue fever, there are differencing, and we, as clinically, must distinguish that two disease. One, in the dengue fever, usually often patient fall on the dengue shock. It's called the dengue shock syndrome. And leptospira sometimes are difficult to fall the shock. Usually leptospira is and stable in the blood pressure. Just the leptospira disease usually is followed the jaundice. That is that different distinguish from the dengue. Dengue is not the jaundice, and the dengue fever also can hemorrhagic, is the thrombocyte decreases until 60, usually, and usually decreases in the skin, or sometimes epistaxis. But the leptospira hemorrhagic usually in the subconjunctival hemorrhagic, that is distinguished from the dengue fever. In the setting clinical as that, and usually leptospira can causes the myalgia, and especially in gastrocnemius or Aciles. But the dengue fever usually patients suffer arthropathy when the myalgia is not too much compare the leptospirosis.
Okay.
And that important we must the check examination the I think the setting clinical setting the routine blood examination we need, and we can look if the dengue fever usually thrombocyte is decreased, decreases, while the leptospira is not.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Joko. For Eliana, Freya, is that clear enough? You can open your mic or you can open your video so we can know that you are already understand or not.
I think that's very, very clear. Thank you, Dr. Joko, for answering. I'm sorry I cannot open my camera as it is very blurry, but thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So let's go to the next questions. From Bima, from the Master of Ceremony. Thank you, Dr. for pleasing me to ask us question. Is it any indications for giving an antibiotics for immune phase on leptospirosis? So, doctor give several antibiotics. So, is there any indication? So, this phase is for amoxicillin, or this phase is for doxycycline. Is there any indications for that?
Yes. I think depend the antibiotic, what's antibiotic in the place we work.
Okay.
For example, there are amoxicillin or ampicillin. We can use the antibiotic in the early stage, early leptospirosis. But if the jaundice in the practice and jaundice or will leptospira will disease, practically we not use the
oral
amoxicillin or ampicillin with the intravenous antibiotic. Usually we use the ceftriaxone in the Indonesian or penicillin G. Usually we use the penicillin ceftriaxone compared the penicillin G.
Okay. So, is there any definitive treatment, doctor, for this case? Definitive treatment.
We can, yes, doxycycline we can use the doxycycline for the case. First line usually is clinic in the peripheral clinic. We the center healthy. We use the amoxicillin or ampicillin.
Oh, okay.
If we meet, if we and stage we let state we can be use the doxycycline. The first stage the antibiotic we use amoxicillin, ampicillin, and then followed if we use the doxycycline is the clinically symptom is not yet right, and if the patient fall to the will disease must be ceftriaxone, cefotaxime, or penicillin G.
Okay.
Practicing, I use the ceftriaxone.
Okay. How about Bima? Is that clear enough for the answer? Hello, Bima. Are you there? Okay, I think this Bima already clear, okay? Okay, let's next question, Doctor. Wow, there are a lot of questions. I'm so excited because you are really interested in this, okay? From Yasmin Juma, oh, from Urdun. Which group of patients are more likely to develop Wells syndrome? Is it linked to immunity status or not? Jadi bagian apa ya, grup yang kayak gimana pasien-pasien yang bergejala sampai jadi Wells syndrome, dokter? Kira-kira mungkin apakah dia yang diabetes, apakah yang dia hipertensi, atau yang kayak gimana? Kayak gitu, dok. Apakah dia juga berhubungan dengan status imunitas kita? Gitu.
Difficult to answer this question because the immunity status in each people is different. I think if we must know about the immunity always divided into the specific immunity and also non-specific immunity. Immunologically, the status of immunity the patient is important. If the patient is the data is not good, not right, I think influence. Yes, the influences the condition of immunity in Indonesia and developing country or equator country, usually through especially in the poorly people, the condition of economically is not good. I think influences the diet, and finally the immunity status that patient is not good, and patient fall the well disease.
Okay, thank you, doctor. For Yasmin, is that clear? So there is no group of patients like more likely to develop Wells syndrome, but it's linked to the social status or economic status because of the immunity. Is that clear, Yasmin?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Okay, the next questions from Yemen, from Ahmed. What early diagnosis patients or people can do to know the leptospirosis before it gets severe?
Yes.
Ada early diagnosisnya nggak?
Yes.
Biar dia nggak sampai parah
I
gitu.
think the early diagnosis leptospira, same the infections, tropical infectious or the tropic infectious disease, fever, and usually we difficult to differentiate the causa of febrile or fever. But if the early early stage, not specific, but we must know that is the fever. For example, dengue fever usually is the fever is higher and fast compare the leptospirosis, and typhoid, for example, there are typhoid tongue in the patient, and leptospirosis usually the muscle gastrocnemius pain, people that leptospirosis feel the pain in the gastrocnemius. Maybe that is can contain pain from infectious from the leptospira.
Okay. So I think that's the answer. It's same question with Ananda Nirmala from Indonesia. I think it's the question is how the difference between mild leptospirosis and severe leptospirosis. I think it's all the same, right, doctor? It's the same question from Ahmad, right?
Yes.
How to diagnose from early, right? So for Ahmad and Ananda, is that clear enough?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you, Doc.
Okay. So how about Ahmad? No. Okay, I take that is already clear. Okay, for Ahmad and Ananda. So in the I will summary from Dr. Joko. In Indonesia, we have several types of infectious disease, and all of them, the symptom is started from fever. So when it comes to a patient's fever, like only in the first day fever, we don't know, is that leptospirosis, is that dengue fever, is that typhoid fever, or it's malaria. It's all the same, like 1 until maybe 3 days, we don't know, is that that is the causes of the problem of that patient. And then we have to specific tests, like when this leptospirosis, we have to test MAT, microscope, what is that, microscope, MAT, yeah, MAT. If dengue fever, we have like a specific test. So we don't know how to difference in the clinical finding. That's it. And for the next question from Naufal Amar from Indonesia. I would like to ask, is there a prevention or prophylaxis for the leptospirosis? And how long does the well disease can progress into ARDS or becomes a severe, especially in primary care settings? Dr. Joko?
I think the time enter early until the ARDS, usually until from 7 or until 7 until 40 days, and the patient usually when the patient leptospirosis can be in the ARDS, we must know the complication of leptospirosis is the hemorrhagic of the pulmonary hemorrhagic. When the patient, the leptospirosis interior to patient with the leptospirosis and hepatic infection, the leptospirosis can be destruction cell destruction, and can be happened in the pulmonary from mechanism the difference from COVID, for example, different, and that is usually can cause the patient fall to the situation of ARDS. What is the first question, Dr. Fahad?
Prevention or prophylaxis?
Yes. So to prevention or prophylaxis, hygiene and sanitasi, we use the can use the hygiene and sanitasi with the right, and I think immunization for the leptospirosis until now is, I think that's not popular, and I don't know what is there are immunization from leptospirosis. Maybe if the patient had have had diagnosis leptospirosis, attached leptospirosis, and experience this disease, I think immunologically antibody leptospira can developing in the patient.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's for Naufal Amar. Is that clear?
Yeah. Thank you for your explanation, Dr. Joko.
Okay. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
From Iraq, Saif Aldin Muammar. What is the pathophysiology cause of encephalopathy in leptospirosis, doctor? How to
Yes.
explain the pathophysiology of
Yes.
encephalopathy?
I think the encephalopathy in the leptospirosis is the same with the pathophysiology when the patient is attached leptospirosis, when the leptospirosis attached in the glomerulus or tubulus or the hepatocyte or the hemolysis. Cytokine, the plays important role of this disease. When the leptospira entire to the human body, usually lymphocyte or macrophage can release cytokine, especially TNF alpha, interleukin H, interleukin, I forget, interleukin 19. That is the cytokine to respond to much. So the cytokine and also bacteria destruction cell in the human body. If attached cell in brain or central nervous system, maybe the encephalopathy can be apparent. And beside the attached leptospirosis in the cells in brain, also acute kidney injury can cause the hypermetabolic and acidosis metabolic that is causes encephalopathy leptospirosis.
Okay. So it because attached on cytokine, so it can be all of the blood vessel. So it can be in renal, it can be it can be in our brain, right? Like that, Dr. Joko. Jadi karena dia nempel di cytokine itu berarti, dok?
Cytokine memperburuk the condition of what is the translate of memperburuk.
Worsening.
Worsening the patient cells body that attached by leptospira.
Okay, that's why the brain it can be infected by that condition.
Yes.
Okay. For Saif, is that clear? Saif Aladin wala Aldin?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Okay. From Omar Muhammad Shakir from Iraq. The doctor mentioned something in the treatment part for ceftriaxone and cefotaxime. What is the special condition and why is it like that? Apa dok? Kenapa milih semuanya ceftriaxone atau cefotaxime kayak gitu? Ada ininya nggak? Yang IV tadi itu.
As we know, the leptospira bacteria usually attach the cell glomerulus cell or the renal cell, and that condition causes the elevated or worse the renal function. It's the same. The ureum and creatinine usually higher from normal, and we choose the cefotaxime if we find the value of ureum creatinine is normal, and we choose the ceftriaxone if the condition physiologic function of renal is good. Ureum and creatinine is normally.
Okay. So if it's normal, ceftriaxone. If it's not normal, we use cefotaxime.
Yes, agree.
Okay. Is that clear, Omar?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Oh, it's still a lot of questions. 3 questions. Boleh dok, ada 3 pertanyaan lagi? Atau MC boleh nggak ya nambah waktunya? Hello? Boleh ya dok?
I think no problem. For discussion, I try to so that we happy in the forum AC and no problem for me.
Okay. So I think it's better to discussion like this because it can be like 2 ways, right? Not
Yes.
just a presentation only one way. Okay, from Baik Bening Senjarani from Indonesia. Why leptospirosis patient having their leukocyte decrease? Is there something happening with the production process, or maybe because it's damaging the organ that produce thrombopoietin? Jadi kenapa leptospirosis itu membuat leukosit itu rendah? Apakah karena dia menghancurkan organ pembentuk trombosit tadi, thrombopoietin, atau dia memang ngerusak prosesnya? Gitu dok.
Usually, we meet the leptospira condition, the value of leukocyte between normal and higher. The special condition maybe we meet the elevated leukocyte is decreases. Maybe what is the leptospira can entire to the bone marrow. I think bone marrow is not place. Leptospira bacteria gompal the renal or hepatic. And if we meet the patient experience, the patient had the leukopenia, I think maybe the other condition that what is caused the medical medicine before it.
Okay. So for Baik Bening, it's like oppositely. Like leptospirosis is increasing leukocyte, not decreasing. But if there is a leukopenia, leukopenia or the decreasing leukocyte, maybe there is another previous disease like that. Is that clear, baik, Bening?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next from Brilliant, Brilliant Alendra from Indonesia. Are there any supporting tests to confirm the diagnosis other than routine blood test and MIT? Apakah ada tes-tes yang lain yang bisa membantu untuk mengkonfirmasi diagnosis dari leptospirosis selain dari darah rutin sama MAT?
Maybe in the region hospital as Temanggung and Peripheral Clinical, we indeed difficult to examine MAT, especially in Indonesia. Difficult to examine the patient with the MAT, but we can use the other examination. For example, IgG, IgM, anti-leptospira with the method ELISA. Usually the prodia or situ or laboratorium, clinical laboratorium can be examined the leptospira, but the hospital and peripheral clinics, I think, it's difficult if must check this examination.
Okay.
Except for the rumah sakit type A in the capital and capital provinsi, as the Sarjito or Karyadi, and Jogja and Semarang, Solo.
Okay. So for Brilliant, you have to be brilliant, okay? So for diagnosis this leptospirosis, for the confirmed from the gold standard is MAT, but it's not like every clinical, clinical have this MIT. It have to be like the higher level of a hospital, right? For the level A MAT, but you can do with routine blood or rapid from like IgM of ELISA. That's okay. That's for Brilliant. Are you copy? You got it?
Yes, Dr. Fat, and thank you for the answer, Dr. Joko.
Welcome.
Okay. This is the last question. This is the last question. This Brilliant is the last question. I'm sorry. For Niputo, I'm sorry. It's already the time is up for discussions. The committee say that this is the last question. I'm sorry, Dr. Joko. Thank you so much for your great presentation, for your answering all of the questions in here. And before Dr. Joko we leave this Zoom, we have like a certificate to give you, to give Dr. Joko. Maybe from the committee, you can share your, or maybe Dr. Joko have a last statement to us, to all the participants, before you close your presentation. This.
I love, and I'm happy can coming to the this forum. In every day, I always learning the medical student. I think it's time when I give learn to this forum, or I learn to OMG medical student. I wish sometime I can join and participate this opportunity. Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Fahad.
Okay, Kunji. Dr. Joko wants to lecturing UMA, okay? Okay, in summary, I would like to summarize the presentation from Dr. Joko. So leptospirosis is indeed one of the tropical disease. It's one of quarter of cases, tropical cases in Indonesia. And why leptospirosis still in Indonesia? Because of one is environment. Our environment is high temperature and high humidity. So it's still a lot of leptospirosis. How it can be spread, this disease is because we have a lot of like rain. So leptospirosis especially spread with the rat, right? With the mouse. When the mouse or rat underground, when there's a rain, so their saliva or their have leptospira bacteria in their mouth and in their body, they will be spread from that water, and then when it's getting flood or from the ground, the water from the ground is going up, and then we play or we just walk around and our body have like a small wound or something, the infected water will come to us, will come to the inner body, and then we will be infected. Or maybe because of our hygiene, hand hygiene, when we don't wash our hand before we eat, and then we in this hand touch something, stool or something, and then it will be infected in your hand, and then you will eat with that infected hands, so it can be infected by leptospirosis. And there are two types of leptospirosis, an icteric and icteric phases. Most infections are asymptomatic. Okay, most of infections are asymptomatic. So when it have symptoms, it will be just self-limiting and mild, such as myalgia, headache, and vomiting. But if there is the combination of jaundice, renal failure, and hemorrhage, leads to the dangerous type of leptospirosis, well known as Wells disease. And then how to diagnose leptospirosis? Several tests, but specific tests is not specific tests. The gold standard of diagnosis this disease is MIT, and it's not everywhere have MIT tests. So we are really, I mean, we in Indonesia don't have to like look the gold standard. We just like clinical finding, like when leptospirosis have like myalgia, especially in muscle, gastrocnemius muscle, right, Dr. Joko? That is from me. So right now, I have to give the certificate to Dr. Joko. Okay, this is your certificate, Dr. Joko. Maybe we have to take a picture or something from committee. Ada yang aba-aba foto gitu, guys?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Udah?
Sudah, Dok.
Okay. Okay, well done. Thank you, Dr. Joko, for your time.
You're welcome.
Your knowledge to us. Thank you.
Yes.
And I by myself, I'm Fahad as a moderator. I'm really excited to be in here, and I'm really sorry because of this condition of pandemic. Like when you see the opening, when you see the Indonesia, when you see the Yogyakarta, how beautiful it is. When when it's be, I mean, you guys come here, you can be like go around, traveling around, and I hope you will go to Indonesia soon, and this pandemic is over. That's for me. Time is up for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joko Agung Priambodo, Spesialis Penyakit Dalam, for the excellent explanations about leptospirosis, and Dr. Fahad for moderating this amazing lecture. We hope you can understand comprehensively about today's lecture, and we hope you will treasure every single goal that you did today and implement to your own local as a good doctor to your patient.
Okay, the next agenda is the e-certificate session to the moderator, Dr. Fahad. Please share screen. Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fahad, for being moderator in this lecture.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a break for 20 minutes. We will very appreciate if participants don't leave the room, as it will make us easier to go on the next agenda. Thank you.